So, how are you all doing today? Hopefully you're doing well. Today we're going to talk about the German FeldPost or military post system. It's going to also cover the German post system as well and how that came to being. But without further ado, a lot of the information I got here came off of Wikipedia and a few other small sources, and piecing it together, there isn't tons of information that I could find to get like the most detailed of how this happened. But hopefully it's detailed enough that it shows exactly a good timeline. So, we're going to start in the year 1867 in the middle of the finishing of the German unification with Otto von Bismarck. The German country under him purchased the Thurn und Taxis Post Organization, which was a civilian postal organization. And then the German states became under that a new postal organization known as the Deutsche Reich Post, led by Henrik von Steuben. During the years 1870 and 1871, it became the nation's official postal authority of the German Empire. Though a couple of German states did hold out with their own post systems, like Baden, which held out till 1872, and Wittenberg and Bavaria, which both held out till 1902. Though on January 1st of 1867, the Reichspost became its own government agency. Right before World War I, in 1913, the Imperial Royal Field Post was organized in Austria-Hungary. Now, it's supposed to be about Germany, but Austria-Hungary and Germany have exceedingly close ties. And Austria-Hungary actually helped develop the German FeldPost system, which is why we're talking about it. So, Austria-Hungary developed their FeldPost offices while the Germans were still using their Reichspost. So this information is for Austria-Hungary, but they did serve the Germans during the war. So the Austria-Hungary one began its work immediately after war was declared, with 118 field posts, staffed by 620 officials, though at the end of the war there were 500 field posts and 200 base post offices, along with 2,800 postal individuals. The German part, how the Germans did it, is the soldiers' addresses composed of their rank, first and last name, the troops they were attached to, along with the battalion and brigade they were attached to. On the contrary, the Austro-Hungarian FeldPost used the 4-digit code, which is now for World War II, everybody knows the 5-digit FeldPost code, which composed of the first last name of the individual and the place that the post was going to. The FeldPost numbers kept the mail and where the troops were stationed secret, so in case any FeldPost actually did get caught, no one would know exactly where these troops and or units were stationed. I mean, you would probably have a good idea on the western and or eastern front on what troops are where because of who you're fighting, but it helps keep at least a little secrecy up, especially if the soldiers say anything. And going into that, the censorship of the FeldPost. The censorship was actually a total censorship until about 1915, where there was so much mail that the Postal Service could not keep up with censoring the German field mail. So they started only doing it randomly, where they'd pull a letter out, 1 of 5, 1 of 10, to verify that the letters were semi-secret. So with World War I letters, for the Germans, you won't see any FeldPost numbers until about late 1916, early 1917, when the Germans adopted the system. But you also will not see tons of censoring after 1915 with the posts. Also with that, there was a tax implemented on post traffic that started the 1st of August 1916 for the FeldPost. Moving on to World War II, the German FeldPost numbers became a 5-digit numeric number, which was their unit designation code. Besides that, it still functioned as a normal postal service. One of the FeldPost perks is the soldiers were able to send letters and postcards for free. Judging, it was only up to a certain weight, and packages would still cost a soldier money. Another small advantage they had was they were also given a couple 1 to 3 Luftpost or airmail stamps each month, because a lot of the mail would go back on wherever it could via truck, ship, train, airplane. Some of it would take a while, but the airplane mail, because they didn't want it to get overcrowded, soldiers could only send certain priority mail home that they chose with their Luftpost stamps. It's a nice blue stamp with a JU-87, JU-88, a junker on it. Sorry, I don't have the exact airplane model, but hopefully on the screen there is a picture of the stamp. So the FeldPost was a Wehrmacht organization. It basically was an organization of the German army. They served all branches, including the special organizations, though. It served the Luftwaffe, the Kriegsmarine, and then the special organizations such as the SS Wendestruppen, the Waffen SS, or the Reichsbardienst. Apologies on my pronunciation. Though late 1944 and early 1945, the postal service started getting bogged down because planes were being shot down, more trucks were being targeted. It was harder to get mail back home. Though late 1945, the Reich Post, not late, but late in the war in 1945, the Reich Post surrendered on the 8th of May. And that is when the German surrender also was, and the post letters stopped being shipped. Though the family still, some of them eventually got the post from their soldiers or their loved ones. The last Reichspost commander was captured 2 weeks later. His name was Julius Dorpmuller, and was taken and arrested. 2 weeks after that, the Allied Control Council took over the FeldPost operations and got the rest of the letters delivered because of the June 5th Berlin Declaration. The Reichspost was replaced by Allied postal authorities in the occupied zones. In West Germany, it was the Deutsche Bundpost, and in East Germany, it was the Deutsche Post. In West Berlin, it was the Deutsche Bunderpost Berlin. And until the Soviet Union fell and collapsed, and then Germany became reunified in 1990, those entities worked. But after 1990, the Bundpost became the sole provider of services for postal services until 1955. And then it became the Deutsche Post AG, which was your German post office, and they also split off another branch for the TV and whatnot, which I guess was originally part of the postal service, into the Deutsche Telekom. Hopefully you guys were able to learn a bit about the German post system through this video. If there's any corrections that you can help me and correct me with, or anything I can help edit, especially pronunciations or whatnot, please let me know. If I could, I'd love to do part 2s on any of these videos to correct errors and or just redo the video and make it better for you guys. But I hope you all are having a great day, and if it's not day, a wonderful night.